let's talk about free radicals and aging. This is a fascinating subject, and you talked about it at length in your book. And this is a subject where there's a lot of misconceptions. So we have, common ideas around this is we have free radicals are bad and antioxidants are good, and free radicals damage our bodies and we need antioxidants to neutralize these. So free radicals bad, antioxidants good. That's the way that most people are taught to think about this. But I know that the story is quite a bit more complex than that. So can you talk a bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. And this is where, I think it's an important discussion to have, because the nutritional supplement industry, as an example, really push antioxidants. And what we're starting to realize is that that might not actually be a good thing in all situations. And that's because when you look at the cell, and I know free radicals have often been presented as a negative thing, and for the most part they are. But free radicals also have an incredibly important signaling role. And what ends up happening is if you quench those free radicals, the cell just doesn't work properly. So what ends up happening is in certain situations, and keep in mind, just like any conversation, when we say something, it has to be taken into context of the greater conversation for us to really understand what's going on. And that is the same thing with free radicals. So even though we think of free radicals in general as a bad thing, when you look at the overall context of what's happening in the cell, in certain situations, those free radicals actually allow our bodies to adapt and become stronger. So without those free radicals, our cells would actually slowly deteriorate over time. And what's really interesting is that I think a couple of years ago, there was a study, and I think it was on worms. And forgive me for not remembering the details of this study, but what it actually showed was that oxidative stress in this particular species of worms actually extended lifespan. Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting to understand, for a very long time, we thought free radicals as only having a negative impact to your health. But like I said, under the right context, these free radicals are extremely valuable, and we need to kind of understand how we can leverage that to make our body stronger.
Yeah. And on that point, there's also a number of lines of research in humans as well that have found that antioxidant supplementation does not extend lifespan. That one of the basic tenets of kind of the free radical theory of aging was that free radicals are bad, antioxidants are good because they neutralize them and therefore prevent that cell damage, prevent it from aging us. And so we had, for many decades, we had all these theories that it was going to prevent all kinds of diseases, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and extend our lifespan by stopping that free radical induced damage. And there have now been dozens of studies on this in humans, and they've reliably and consistently shown that antioxidant supplementation does not prevent these diseases and does not extend lifespan.
Absolutely. And in some cases can actually do more harm than good.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually what I said was being a little generous, because like you said, there's a few studies that have found increased risk of certain cancers and things of that nature.
Yeah. Now, mind you, to be fair, I think it's important to also understand that in certain situations, those compounds that we typically think of as antioxidants do have benefit and have been shown to have benefit and improve the health of individuals with a particular health condition. Mm-hmm. But when you're looking at an overall healthy individual looking for prevention and even vitality and longevity, that's where the free radical theory of aging and health kind of starts to fall apart.
Right. Yeah. So vitamin E serves important roles. Vitamin A serves important roles. Vitamin C, scurvy is obviously a bad thing. Overt vitamin C deficiency is a real thing. But in people who are otherwise vitamin C sufficient, for example, supplementing with more doesn't seem to have any benefit.
Right. Exactly.